Testing 1 2. Testing 1 2. Testing 1 2. Testing 1 2.
Shalom, Israel. We're the ISUPK, start off 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Under Commanding General Yohana, where we teach blacks, Hispanic, and Native Indians make up the 12 tribes of Israel. We're not affiliated with any other Israelite group. Sakshapar, Lashawan Qadash class here in Greenville, South Carolina, Centerville area. We're going to teach the Lashawan Qadash, where we teach Assyrian and we teach ancient Hebrew, as we have on our chart here. And we're going to glad people are joining us in class. We want to make sure that you understand that we teach the ancient Hebrew from the Hebrew that Adam had, from the beginning of time, man. We got people up in the chat. True.
Okay.
Who we got?
We got Nayar checking in from Easley, South Carolina.
Right.
Nayar.
Right, bust it down a little bit so we can see the screen. Trooper Nayar. There you go. Yeah, at least to there, that's good. Who else?
That's it.
Okay, Trooper Nayar, check in. Yeah, glad to have Trooper Nayar checking in. And we'll wait to see, make sure we have our, these brothers here got their name. I think it was Lakamawan Nayar and Lakataza got their name. So that's how you know when you check in the Hebrew classes across the nation, man, even in South Carolina, D.C., Texas, Washington, it doesn't matter, Arizona, man. You check in the class, you're going to get your Hebrew name, become a Hebrew soldier in the ISUPK, man. We have classes from Monday through Saturday. Tomorrow we'll be doing the Hebrew classes, the Sabbath services, which involves Hebrew, of course. Tonight we're doing the Hebrew classes. And that's what we're doing pretty much all the way to 9 o'clock. So we want you guys to join class, get in class, man. Wait for one of the officers, I believe it's Officer Shar, to put in the the little app so you can check in and get your name.
Right.
That's the main thing. Check in the class, get your name, and join the, in the ISUPK, man. That's what we're all about. And of course, we have our Hebrew chart over here that we read. Hebrew reads from right to left. From right to left. Never forget that. Don't come up looking for the left side and think you're going to the right. Hebrew reads from right to left. Just opposite of what you read here in this kingdom that we have here. That's in this oppressor's kingdom, this devil's kingdom. They do everything backwards. So when we say Abba Gada, Hawazaka Tayakala, Manasa, Ipa, Taza Kwarashata, that goes for the ancient and the Hebrew, and the Assyrian Hebrew. And of course, we're going to go over some Hebrew and show you how many vowels there are, how many characters. We start off every class, we preface every class so you can understand where we're coming from. At least what you're getting into. So, oh man, and take notes because, if you have this in your notes, then of course just follow along with it. Join yourself in the chat, type it in, and so we can get involved. And we're going to go over some things in class. But right now, we want you guys to sit back as you get your yayan and your wine, and you take your time and join us in class, man. We're getting more people in class. Let's see, we ready to go. And as we get in class, we'll give it a few more time for people to get in class here. People get in class, then we'll start to go over some things on the board up here. Right? Pull that back up, the chat just a little bit so I can see a little bit more of the face.
Coming right up.
Yeah, yes, pull that. I know the blue part. Yeah. Other way. Oh, man. That's it. That's enough. Yeah. I need to come back this way. Okay, we're still waiting for Officer Shaw to put it in the chat there. Let's see what we got here. But we're gonna we have on the yard yourself and a few more people. John, who we got? People, let me check to see who we got in the.
Yeah, it's still not your for right now.
Yeah, who we have in the YouTube over there. So we're checking the Lashawan Qadash class, man. Checking in. Make sure you guys get really adept with the chart. That's the whole idea of understanding Hebrew. If I break down anything in the Hebrew and in Hebrew characters, you have to know this Hebrew chart. You have to know what you're looking at, those characters. You have to know.
Got Trooper Lashawan checking in.
Trooper Lashawan checking in. Brother got his name, just like I said. Lashawan, Nayar, Lakatazar, all got your name. Glad to have you, Lashawan. Huh? Kalatazar. Yeah. Kalatazar. Lashawan and Nayar, all got your names, man. And that means a lot. I remember when I got my name, man, that meant a lot because that means you have checked in the class for at least 6 months, right?
Right.
That's what it means. Let's see who we have. Let's see who else we have. See, we have who we have in the. Okay. Right. Okay. Still waiting for people to check in. All right. Listen. Let's go to the board here real quick. Here. Let's find out. Balazar. How many Hebrew characters are there in the ancient?
In the ancient.
Right up there for them. Tell them how many there are in the ancient Hebrew. How many in there? 22? All right. Now I'm gonna ask you guys, how many are there in the Syrian? Just making sure you guys, I ask this question, it's mundane, it's repetitive, but it keeps you on your toes so you'll understand. How many characters, like you go like A, B, C, D, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. That's, if you can remember the suppressor's alphabet, surely you can remember our Hebrew characters. Because it's important, it's essential for you to know what Hebrew characters there are. It's important to know because that's how you spell out any word, and any word can be put in a sentence. Last week we went over some sentences. When we did the Lord's Prayer, we were just simply doing words.
Right.
And we were putting them in a sentence, and we said, our Father which art in heaven, that's Abanawa, Shabbat Shemayim, Wadashaya, Shemka, Yahweh Malakuka, Thaba'a, Ratazaya, Haya, Barataza. That's what we were going through. Who else we have in there? Somebody's giving us an answer there?
Lashawan said 25.
Lashawan said 25. He's exactly right. Clap it up for that brother right there.
22.
Huh? There it is. There's 20. There's 22. But no, actually, Lashawan. I take that back. There's how many?
He said 27 Shalaki.
Yeah, 27. Yeah, it's 20. I thought he said. That's what you said. 27. Clap it up for the brother right there. That's 27. Yeah. 27. And what makes up that 27? I mean, there's 22 and there's 5 more extras, and we'll get into that in a second. Why is it 5 extra characters in the Assyrian Hebrew, Lashawan, Nayar? What we got?
You ain't said that.
You said nothing? Why are there? What are they? Do you remember them? What are those characters called? Lashawan, Nayar? Remember, you need this because when you do anything that you do here in the ISUPK, you're going to need Lashawan Qadash. What characters are there? What are those extra characters? Those extra 5 characters, what are they called? They're only in the Assyrian Hebrew. You won't find them in the ancient. Anybody say anything over there, True?
Not yet.
All right. Good. Okay, but there's 27, you're exactly right. And there's 22 natural characters, and there's 5 more that's added on, and they're called the ending characters only for the Assyrians. Somebody else got some up there right there. What are they called?
Lashawan said 5 ending characters.
So I clap it up for that brother right there, see? And that's clap it up for. That's what we're talking about, those 5 ending characters. That's what he's learned. See, he's a trooper, he knows. And here they are. Like Lashawan was saying, we have what are these? Kalatazar. Tell it to me.
Ka.
Ma. Write that on the board. Right above it. Write what they are right above it, so people viewing all the way from here, all the way to New York, to Seattle, to Denver, everywhere can know what those ending characters are. Write them on the top. Follow the order now. Right on the top. Right. There you go. Need some room now, bro. There you go. See, when you write this over and over again, it becomes easier and easier, doesn't it?
Okay.
And those ending characters, man, and you know, they mean something. Those ending characters, we appreciate that, Lashawan. Those ending characters, ka, ma, na, pa, and tazah. When you're reading the Hebrew, like some of you guys, when you come here on Sabbath services, when you show up and you read the Hebrew, you have to understand these Hebrew characters, so you have to be aware of what they are. You have to be aware that, wow, what is that? When you're reading a word, you know, like we address every time when we come here. If you have a word like, let's see, if I have a word like aratazah, if I were to write that in Hebrew, in Hebrew Assyrian, I'm sorry, it's locked in. If I say that's Assyrian, right? Then I say ra, just like that, right? Ara, and then I'll say the ending character, right?
Right.
I have to say the ending character. So that's a ratazah, isn't it?
Right.
And that is an ancient. So we have to use this tazah instead of the tazah that normally is in there and looks like this. That's what it normally looks like. Okay? But because, see what we got up in there. But
I had put like, share, and subscribe.
there you go. Like, share, and subscribe to class. Very good. Yeah. Make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe to class. That's what I appreciate that.
Okay.
This. Go ahead.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. This tazah right here takes the place of this one when it's at the end. Therefore, they're called ending characters. Only at the end of the Assyrian. So that takes care of that answer. What are these? And they're called ending characters. That's what these are.
Right.
Kalatazah put ka, ma, na, pa, tazah. Right?
Right.
Okay, let's talk about this right here. What are those? Let's type it up in the chat. What are these 2 marks up here? We talked about the ending characters before we get heavy into class here. We're doing a preface like I do every class to preface the class, to guys give you kind of like a preamble to the understanding here. What are these? These 2 little U's and upside down U's, what are those, man? What do they represent in the Hebrew? They represent something, right?
Right.
You know, tell me, somebody talk to me. Tell me what these are. Tell me from your memory. Tell me what it is. It don't matter if you do it over and over again. You should be able to roll those answers off your tongue. Come on, Yar. Lashawan. All y'all, tell me what these are. What are these upside down U's and these U's? What do they mean in our language? Because that's what they are. When you see them in the reliefs on the wall, you'll see upside down U's and then you'll see U's. And you'll say, and they're underneath letters, they're underneath our character. You say, wow, what is that? You know, that's really neat. But those little neat things mean something in our language. And you'll see them when you read the Hebrew in class. What somebody said up there.
Triple Lashawan said
Right.
dependent and independent characters.
Okay, yeah, exactly. All right, he said dependent, independent, right?
Right.
All right, which one is dependent, which one independent, Kalatazah? Okay.
Dependent.
Write it up there. Dependent. Yeah. Need to use another pen. That one ain't working right for you. There you go. Yeah, just put dependent, you good enough. And put independent. You helping you and the Commonwealth coming out there in the yard. They're independent. No, go ahead and write it out. Spell that on out. Just in case somebody in Seattle or they look at that and they say, man, what is that? You know, and so these little upside down U's and U's, they're dependent and independent characters, right? Somebody else got some wrote up there? In our comments?
One West Michelle said how to sound out letters, and he said upside down or connectors.
Right.
Changing the sound or second character.
Right. They changed the sound.
He said changing the sound of second character.
Change the sound of what?
Second character.
Second characters. Change the sounds. Yeah, they will alter the sound. They more or less tell you what the sound is, and you can use it when you're making words, is what you're talking about. And when the word's already made, they depict and help you spell the word and the sound. So we'll clap it up for the brother. You can accidentally change the sound if you put them in the wrong place. So we're gonna prove that up here, right? You got a pencil? You got a pen? Yeah. Erase that right there in Assyrian, and write that word in ancient, and put your Hebrew connectors up there to prove the point. Okay. There you go. There you go. Don't forget your connectors. Yeah, that's right. So break that down. Show them what that is. Show everybody what that is. Why did you use all independent?
Don't the directors are supposed to get the H?
Yeah, put a H up there. But that's somebody forgot that. I wonder who did that. AH. There you go. Now AH. Because the I itself has an H. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
The I gets its full sound.
I get a full sound, right?
The Ra gets his full sound.
Right.
And the Tazah has his full sound.
Has his full sound. Clap it up for that, brother. Right. Now you can alter this like what the trooper was that saying that what we got up there.
One West Mashah said it's not Lashawan, it's Lashawan.
Lashawan?
Yeah, I guess it was like breaking like how like somebody when they say it, I guess them saying it like spelling it out instead of saying Lashawan like some people pronounce it.
Right.
Lashawana instead of Lashawan.
No, it's Lashawan, right. It's not Lashawana, right, exactly.
And you got Trooper Ratazat checking in for Columbia, South Carolina.
Right. And Trooper, what was that? Trooper 1 West, you say?
One West Mashah.
1 West Mashah?
Okay.
It's Lashawan. Yeah, Lashawan means what? Holy tongue. It means tongue. It just means the tongue. Language, or Lashawan, or tongue. And of course, holy is Qadash. And it's Lashawan. Those are three giving characters. Lashawan. They stand on their own. They have all independent connectors. And when you got Aratazah, or you can say Aratazah. Most people don't put a connector and join them together as dependent here. No, you got that backwards, as a matter of fact. Here, come here for a minute. Somebody got it?
One West Mashah said because of the dependent connector.
Right, turn those around there. You got that backwards. No, leave that there and just change the symbols. That's independent, yeah, just exactly backwards. You just wrote them above the wrong thing, that's all. No, it's still the other way. It's the other way.
I did that.
No, I did. You just wrote them above the wrong one. Now there you go. There you go. That's independent, and then the upside down one is dependent. So all here are independent connectors, right?
Okay.
Now, I mean, I could change this, but that, I mean, you know, this just, it's a connector, man. I could do this, but that wouldn't necessarily be right. I could say, Ratazah.
Right.
But that word, Ratazah. You don't want to emphasize and then say Ratazah.
Right.
You want to say Ratazah. Ratazah. It says fast, Ratazah. But you got to understand the dependency. One West, like you were saying, the dependency on what things sound, how they sound. And then what you're trying to do here is get the word to be one sound.
Right.
A flow. It's called like an even flow. Everything, you know, it's like an even flow. It's like an even flow of things like that, right?
Right.
It's not like it's don't get too strung out on is it la or la or ratazah or ratazah. Don't get strung out too much on stuff like that. Just go with whatever the teacher's saying there and learn that there are dependent and independent connectors. Because we have a vocabulary book on some of these things, and that's what we go from a lot, okay?
Right.
All right, so, but that being said, all right, I want you guys, let's go ahead and erase that to get it off their mind there. Oh, vowels. How many vowels are there in Hebrew? Come on, troopers. Troopers, officers, Salaki to the men above me. How many vowels are there in Hebrew? That'll be the last thing we do before we move on in class here. How many vowels are there? How many vowels are there in Hebrew? Tell me about it. What we got over there? True. Like you're at a storm out there.
Right.
How many vowels? What people say?
One West Mashah said 2.
There's 2?
Right.
All right. And what are they? Now he's right. Clap it up for that brother. One West Mashah, right. Now, and what are they? What are those vowels? That's important.
One West Mashah said and I.
Yeah, write that up there. And I. He's exactly right. Clap it up for that brother. Exactly right. And I. That's right, brother. Right. Now, right underneath what they look like, you can erase that dependent stuff there. Get something out of your way there. There you go. Write what they look like. Ancient. And then go ahead and give you some more room down there. Erase that, whatever that is. And Assyrian. Show them what that looks like. Because, you know, there are people writing down things for their notes. And, of course, as we erase, you make sure you re-roll the tape for people just starting out. That's all I'm trying to do. That's an and then what the I look like. We're just doing this so your memory can kick in, man. That's what this means, so your memory can kick in. Right? Go ahead and explain that.
You got your I in the ancient, then you got I in the Syrian.
Right.
That's your I in the ancient.
Right.
And that's your I in the Syrian.
Right. Let's clap it up for Qadash. Exactly right. So we went over the basics, right? So go ahead and erase that. We went over the basics of what we do. We got 22 characters, right? In the ancient, 27 characters in the Syrian. The and the ancient, and the and the Assyrian. We got the I in the ancient, and the I in the Assyrian, and those are the vowel sounds. There's only 2 vowel sounds, the and the I. Right. What else? Then we have, of course, what the Indian characters are, like Lashawan was saying, and Qadash. Go ahead, what you got?
Lakamawan said 2.
Right.
And he said Salaki, he gonna be in and out.
Yeah. No, I appreciate that, brother. Appreciate you joining class and helping out. You helping other brothers out as well as yourself. That's good. All right. Appreciate that, Lakamawan. Now, yeah, and then of course you have ka, ma, na, pa. And you get to learn these because that helps your reading on your ancient Hebrew. We read a lot of ancient Hebrew in Sabbath services. Okay, go ahead and erase all that. Let's get into this. Let's get into this. I want you guys to get your pencil and paper out, and I want y'all to tell me. I got some words up here. Just attack the one in the green right now. Put an arrow right here. There you go. We got a green arrow. I want y'all to tell me what that word is. The one right there. That's just like you see it. Y'all write that word out in English. That's your first step of understanding. We'll have Trooper Ratazak also, right?
Okay, he on YouTube.
Right.
Yeah, Ratazak, he on YouTube.
The Shore put the well, he's got the class here, but I don't think he put the
Yeah, you have to put it up here.
he hasn't put it up yet. Yeah, Shore, when you get a chance, put up the chat where you can get your name, where you can put your name in there. I see you broadcast the class, but go ahead and put your name, put their names up there so people can get their names, all right? Okay? Yeah. Yeah, we're going over some simple stuff here tonight. I was going to go over plural and how you make things plural, but we'll save that for another time. Right now, tell me what this word is right here. What is this word right here? What does it mean? Tell me what that word is in, you notice that some of them are written in ancient, some are written in Assyrian. So you guess, you understand which one it is, so you'll know.
One West, Mashah said Shashad. Ashad.
Shashad, a what?
Ashad. SHASHAISHAD.
Yeah, I know he's it's hard to tell sometimes. That's why I hate using Assyrian. It's not his fault either. Here, let me do it. Let me do it a little different from you, bro. Here. There you go. Try that one. Now try it. Because that word, they do look alike.
Right.
You know, a lot of and I was going to do a class on. I've done a lot of class on that. I remember, I think it was Officer Paigabawa said one of his favorite classes when I do the similarities on Assyrian and Hebrew ancient because it really tests you to see how well you know the symbols. But now check that one out. That's a little better. What do you think about that one? Write that out. I mean, it's kind of, I mean, you got to really pay attention to these Hebrew characters because there.
Shasha Ashar.
There you go. That's a little better. What do you got in there?
Oh, he changed it.
What do you got?
I said Salaki. Shashar Ashara.
There you go. Put that up. Write that up there. Write down what he has. Yeah, and I purposely do this right to the right over there, since we got room, you know. I purposely write it down in Assyrian sometime because that's one of the hardest ones to understand. The language is hard because there are no connectors, and that's why I try to kind of bring them out. We're doing Assyrian. We're going to concentrate on this tonight. So, what does that mean? Anybody? What does that mean? Put a dot between there when you get time there.
Okay.
Between those two words there. One West, Lashawan, what is that? Nayar. What does this word mean? No, not there. Yes, right there. Yeah. Okay. There you go. What do you got? Tell me. Tell me what y'all think this means right here. He says Shasha Asherah. Right? Yeah. Tell me what that means.
One West Mashah said 16.
Mm-hmm. Put it up there. Clap your hands for that brother right there. It means 16, and right above it, right above it, 16. It means 16. He's exactly right. And right above the Shasha is a 6, right?
Right.
Go ahead and put it up there. 6. About Shah. There you go. And then what is that? That's a 10, right?
Okay.
So put that one up there. Very good. Appreciate that. Very good. Paying attention there, One West. All right. Let's go to the next one here. Let's do the one in blue. Attack this one. Tell me what this one is. This one right here. Write out the English first. Write what it looks like so when you're talking to somebody, you'll be able to tell them, and then you'll be able to actually pronounce it and enunciate it correctly. And so tell me what this one is.
One West Mashah said Shalash Yam.
Say it again.
He said Shalash Yam.
Yeah, write that down. Write down what he has on it. He says Shalashim. Let's see what he's got. Spell it exactly like he has, so we make sure. All right, very good. It says Shalashim, right? So what does that mean? What is Shalashim? What is a Shalashim? Anybody in the chat? One West, Nakar, Lakamawan. What is Shalashim? Yeah, what is that? What is this? In other words, what does this word spell? What is Shalashim? What does that mean?
One West Mashah said 30.
Clap it up for that brother. You said 30, right?
Right.
All right, break it down. Why is that 30?
But the Shalash is 3.
Right.
And Yam is plural.
The Yam makes it plural, right?
Times.
Times Ashara. So that 30 plural is 3 plural is 30, right? So he's exactly right. Clap it up for that brother right there. Exactly right. That's what I'm talking about. That's some staying on top of it. All right, let's see. What else you got? All right, the one in black here, the last arrow here. Tell me what this one is. And we're bringing it back in, what's that, a Syrian? Syrian, right?
Right.
Tell me what that one is.
You need some more, sir?
Oh, calm. When you get time. Yeah. We got a word here. Y'all break this one down. Write it. You always transliterate this word. Write down in English how you read it. Write it down. Write it down. What is this? It's obvious that it doesn't have any connectors, so you know it's an Assyrian.
Right.
So what is this? See, let me break this down so you can see it a little better. There we go. If it don't have any connectors, automatically you know it's Assyrian. If it's Assyrian, then you look for what? Ending characters, right?
Right.
All right, break it down. Tell me about it. Yes, sir. Got me Lock, we give them a chance there.
Okay.
Y'all check it out. Yeah. Yes. Yes. Oh, Lord. Who's that trooper? Where's he from?
That's what I asked him
I mean, is he a trooper?
I'm not sure.
Yeah. One West, what's your rank, man? I don't know if it's sir or trooper. I don't know. Tell me what you got. Ah. When you get finished, you word, what do you say?
He said Officer 50.
Officer 50, good. Officer then, good. No wonder he's answering all these. Clap for it. That's all right, that's all right. Good. So break this one down. Y'all break this in the car, like Kamawan. Y'all break these down. I don't care who answered this long. This is the whole point. It grows across the nation, man. People learn this. This is how we learn. We just happen to be, like when I say, what was the title of the class? Count the numbers, right?
Right.
Well, what is this?
He said the title of the class.
I think it's count the numbers, isn't it? And that's what I'm doing. This is how I want to teach the class tonight. Just want to see people can guess this a little bit. Get people in tune with that. Last time we did the Lord's Prayer, that involved a lot of possessive adjectives, right? And a lot of vocabulary.
What number is it?
What
vocabulary.
Number? What number is it? And then we're doing vocabulary, of course. From everybody, what we got here? We have, we said Shasha Asherah, that's 16. Now we're on Shalasyam. Now what's this one here? What is this one? This is an Assyrian, right?
Right.
Break it down. Tell me about it. Let's see, we got Ratazak, he's checking in. Still got, they still working on this one,
Right.
And I mean, stuff like this, you gotta kind of like, and sometimes it's my fault for not writing. That's why I'm trying to write it out exactly. Especially I'm trying to teach the troopers to write these letters exactly right. Close as you can get it, so people can see it, as close as the chart has it. So when people look at this, they'll be able to tell what it is. Because before, I think you took it as if that was a da. I think, didn't you? Yeah, I think that's what he thought it was a da, and it can look like a da. But what's the difference? What's the difference between a da that we said?
The difference in da and ra.
A da and a ra, yeah. Write it up there on the board. Write a da. Write a da. And then because I can do it. Anybody can do it. I mean, we all do it. And then what's that da got on it now? What is that, a da?
Right.
Huh? Got that little stem, right? Yeah, you can just make it straight. It don't have to be up in the air. Just straight. And that stem is not that long either. Let's cut that down a little because that's starting to look like a ka. Now I'm talking about this bottom part. Yeah, a little bit shorter. Okay, and then what about the ra? The ra has a curved top just a little bit. Just for the sake of our captivity learning. And it's wider too.
Right.
Yeah, go make that wider. Just make it for the sake of doing it, make it wider. Use your here. Yeah, make it wider. Make it, see how wide I got this one? Yeah, and so make it so we have to exaggerate things so people can see that in that exaggeration it makes it, larger. So go ahead, y'all go ahead. Yeah. Yeah, and that's the difference. Now what I do is this. On that same, and this helps vocabulary, right? This is a da, right?
Right.
It's a da, what's that? Ancient? I mean Assyrian, right? Assyrian, right?
Right.
And this is Assyrian too, right?
Right.
What I do is this. I do this. Okay? And then I do this. I go way out the way to make sure that's wide. So when people see that, they have no choice but to say, they can't mistake that for a da, because it's too wide and it's got curvy up top. If you look on there for the da, you'll see a little stem, and they all look just damn alike, really. So you got to make some meaning out of that, and that's the ra, and because the da would have a stem out there.
Right.
So I understand that part is, we all do that. So what is this word right here? Y'all go ahead and break this one down right here. Y'all break this one down. Y'all Lakamawan, and who's that? Officer who?
Masha.
What was the officer's name?
Masha.
Masha.
He said Shabayam.
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 Shabayam?
Right.
Oh, yeah. Write that down. Shabayam. Shabayam. Write down what he has over there. Shabayam. Shabayam. And what in the world is Shabayam?
Officer Masha said 70.
Yeah, write that down. Write it up there, bro. Yeah, 70. He's right. Clap it up. What up for that brother? 70, right. That's right, officer. Plural, right. And that last, the yam is the plural, and shabai represents 70. Because we pluralized it, now it becomes 70, right?
Right.
And that's what it's all about. It's all about understanding what that is. Let's erase that, and let's put some more up here so we get some more understanding of some of these words here, man. Let's get some more. Let's go some more understanding of some of this. Yeah, sorry. There. Now stand by for a second. Get some wine. Get you some yayan, and we'll write a couple more up here. Get you guys to understand this a little bit more. All right. Real quick here. What? Okay. Where we at here? All right, here we go. Let's do this one right here. All right, write that one down for me. Y'all tell me what that says. In English? I think I wrote it down right. Yeah. Tell me what that word is in English, and then tell me. Then we'll go with what number it is, right?
Officer Mashah said, Shabbat Rabbayam.
Okay. Write that down, what he has up there.
Then he put 47.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. What has he got? Anybody else? Write down what he has. Write it right over. Write it over it. Right over top of what it is, so there'll be no misunderstanding. Write it over top of it. Kind of like, because I'm doing these in a rush, so don't want to. Sometimes I make a mistake, but you can catch me. That's fine. And yeah, there you go. You mean you could. There you go. All right, break that down, Trooper. What did he say it was?
Shabbat Arabayam.
Shabbai Arabayim. And what did he say that number was?
47.
Write that down. Well, kind of put it up above it, so we don't want to get it mixed up in there. Always have things where people can see on different eye levels, right? Yeah. Yeah. And of course, Shabbai is actually 7, right?
Right.
And this word is 40, so put 7 up there and 40 over there. And then we know that it's 47. The officer would be correct on that. That's Lashawan and everybody else in there that has that. Okay, you put these two together, and that's the idea. That's the whole idea. And you can see that is in ancient Hebrew, it's a lot easier to read. When you say Shabbai, we read Hebrew from right to left. Shabbai, okay. Rabbi, Yum, right?
Right.
And there's your plural right here, right?
Okay.
And if I said Arabai, then that'll be a little different. But we say Arabayam. But we have to, because that's what it means. The yum makes it 40.
Right.
All right? So we're saying Shabbai, we're saying 40 plus 7 is 47. And that's how you read Hebrew. You read Hebrew very, very connecting and meticulous, and with the intent of understanding by adding, just like you would add in the duodecimal system here in America.
Right.
It's the same thing. It ain't no different. Matter of fact, we started this trend. That's what people don't get. They don't understand that. You know? They don't understand. So you got what, 47?
Okay.
Yeah. Let's put another one up here. Put let me see, I'll put it up here. Let's see, let's do this one. Let's do this one. Let's do this one. Yeah, we'll leave that one at that. And that is written in, first of all, like this. Okay? What is that? Write it down in English. Go ahead.
You gotta change that in front of the shop.
Catch that? I mean, you're supposed to use both of them. And then say, I've done that in classes, use both of them.
Right.
Then catch the mistake. Catch the joint on. Because when you do that, then I know you know what you're doing. Right?
Right.
So interpret that, do a transliteration of that word right there in English. Tell me what this is. We're having fun with the Hebrew number system, right?
Right.
And vocabulary at the same time. So tell me about it. Yeah, go ahead.
Answer.
Yeah.
The Shah Asherah.
The Shai Shara?
Right.
Yeah, clap it for it. See who else got that up there? What they got?
Ain't nobody answer yet.
Yeah. It's what do you think it is? Because that's. Anybody else? Nobody?
Nobody.
Okay. We'll wait somebody. And next time, I mean, I'm gonna mix it up in there. Mix this stuff up in there so people can see it.
Next time, let them correct it themselves.
Let them correct it. I mean, Assyrian is like a nightmare in itself. It's chicken scratch, man. That's the language we learn in our captivity, right?
Right.
And that language right there is like, that's what the Yiddish people use over there now, but they don't know how to use the ah and the I. They got it all bad backwards over there.
Right.
And we're correcting. This is ISUPK. We home of the truth, man. We know exactly how to read this. We tell them what their words should be. Is that thunder?
Okay.
Oh, that mercy. Come out of the sky. All right. Go ahead and write that word. Let's see if anybody in chat, they may have it in there. What that word means. What they got?
Officer Mashah said,
Yeah.
Kasha with a question mark. CHAASHA.
Oh,
With a
where?
question mark.
What? Oh, he said that's Ka? What you got, officer? What does he got?
He said, is that Kamash Ashara?
Right here?
No, I think he's talking about this person.
Oh, he thinks, okay. I want you to, yeah, it looks like a Ka, but I want you to emphasize, look at the bottom. Hey, make me I want you to do 2-3 things here. Put me up. The first thing I want you to do is put me a Ka, put me a Ka, a Ha. Put a Ha down there first. Put a Ha. Yeah. Put a Ka. Yeah. Ka. You put them, yeah, however you want to put it. You put them beside each other. However you want to do it. Okay. All right, and put it right beside the other one. And a Tha. Emphasize that golf club on the left. Yeah. Just like I got on the board right there. Now emphasize that golf club. I mean, emphasize that because those three right above what they are. Right above them what they are.
You said right above it.
Right above it. And it doesn't matter where you read this on the charts. You want to make sure, here. Yeah, you want to make sure, here, let me see in there. You want to make sure, you guys want to make sure when you're reading this chart, make sure there are 3 symbols that look just alike. Well, they look just alike. They all look alike. The ha has a space in here. Remember that space?
Right.
That space right there. The ka looks like the same thing, only just don't have the space. The tha looks exactly like the rest of them, only has a golf club here on the left side right here.
Right.
And that's what we have here, this golf club. So you know that's a tha. And we all do it. I mean, I do it all the time. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
He said, I see it. Then he said, the Shah Ashara. And
Yeah.
he put 19.
Yeah, he's right. Clap it up for that brother right there. Clap it up for the officer. Clap it up for him. He's exactly right. He said 19, right?
Right.
So, and he would be right. It's 19, and that would be, the Shah is what, 9?
Ashara's 10.
Asherah's 10. So what's 9 plus 10?
19.
19, right?
Right.
And that's how you work that. Here you go. But you're right. Just y'all make sure, and I love the fact that you guys are correcting a lot of this stuff. I love the fact that you understand, because I was going to do a class like that. Remember?
Right.
On similar characters, yeah. These like look just alike. I mean, it took me a while, and it still does. I still go back and forth. And of course, I know when you check in a different class, officer, that you y'all see this and then you say, okay, you used to look at somebody else's handwriting. I noticed you, but you got to look real close. And I try my best to make them look like the chart, but I understand. And the only way I can tell is that golf club, this has a space in between for the ha, that's a tha, and the ka is the only one that looks like a musical note, I guess.
Right.
And that's the thing. As a matter of fact, that's very good. He said 19. That's good. Go ahead.
That's just like how Ra, Wa, and Da, they look the same.
They look just alike. Let's erase these right here real quick. Let's get into that real quick here. I try to address what people like to talk about. Yeah, let's erase these and we'll get into that real quick.
Erase the top two.
Yeah, erase all of that. Plus, you got them all right. The officer got them right. Matai got them. And the car and Lakamawan. I don't know if they're busy or not. I'm not sure. But all right. Let's let me see something here. Like he had before, aforementioned, we got this right there. That's a ha. In Assyrian Hebrew, we're talking Assyrian Hebrew here, and then we got a ka, like this, like that, and then we have a tha, right? Right. Like this. There's that club. That's how I remember them. And those are distinct. They can't be anything but this. So this is the ka. And this is the tha. Okay? And they go ahead.
Oh, no, I was scratching my head.
Okay, yeah, go ahead. And of course, sometimes when you see, here's another one like this. You have, that's a ra, and here's a da, like this. I exaggerate them. This is the ra. Go ahead.
I'll wait till you finish.
Okay. Go ahead.
It's just like Ka and Ba.
Ka and ba, for your Assyrian.
Right. Cause they kind of similar, but one got a curve and one got a straight bottom.
Ka.
Ka.
Oh yeah. Yeah. What you want to do for the ba is you want to do this. Like that, okay? They really, the reason why they don't look similar to me is because of this.
Straight line on the bottom.
Straight line on the bottom. Like this. I'm writing them real big. We get like that. Looks like a hangman.
Right.
And then what was the other one? The
Ka.
ka. the Ka and the Syrian looks like this. Now those look different to me. They don't look the same. But okay, and then what is this, the Ba?
Right.
And this is the Ka.
Right.
The Ka. Okay? And then you have here's some more. I mean, you got a lot of them. You have what's that?
Why?
That's a Wa. Okay, and here's another one. Here's another one. What's that one? Did you think about that one?
Nah.
That's a Na. It's an Indian connecting Na, right?
Right.
What's this?
No.
It's Indian connecting, what'd you say?
Huh. Yeah, come.
See how they begin to blend? They begin to look. They look like that because that's the way they look. What about this one?
Nah.
That's a Na? I have to write it down here. Got no room up there. Okay? That's what these look like. What else? They begin to look a lot alike because they just do sometimes.
Yeah.
Let me see here. Here's one. Here's some that look alike. Like what's this?
Sa.
It's a Sa. Right?
Okay.
Okay. And what's this one?
Ma.
It's a Ma. And the connector, right?
Right.
You see how they can start to look alike?
Okay.
But I've been doing them, so it doesn't even, I can tell the difference. That's my point.
Okay.
But it don't matter who writes them. It doesn't matter because I'm looking for a certain thing in them. You know, that's how I see it. What else? I tell you something. It used to be kind of like, and then we have. What are those?
Tza.
It's I, right?
Right.
And that's a Za. But you see how they can be misconstrued right there? And that's these are the similarities. And when I've done this class before, similarities in words. And of course, let's see. It just kind of like, you ain't paying attention to it. What are those?
Ha and Ka.
Ha and the Ka. We'll give you guys a chance to write those down because if you can get past those, you'll get past a lot of them. Here's another one over here. Here's another one.
Tza.
Mm.
I mean Za.
Za. It's important. Once you get past those, you begin to understand that they start to melt down to start to be different instead of looking the same, right?
Right.
And, you know?
Right.
Yeah, well, you get the point, right?
Okay.
Okay, all right. But that's the differences, and then for the most of them, they sort of have enough differences. Yeah, even this one right here, like this. If you ain't paying attention, that will fool you.
It's Tza.
That's a Tza, and connecting Tza, right?
Right.
If you ain't paying attention, some of these will will sort of like get away from you. And that's what you want to learn. So you guys make sure you write this down. Write them down so that you can understand that there are differences. And I'm not saying necessarily because they're handwritten, but I try to make them look like the chart.
Okay.
Not the handwritten part, but the chart. Because, you know, a long time ago, our generals, they wrote down pretty much similar to what I had, and it would look like the handwritten, which is close as you can get. I mean, that's just the way it's written. Everybody's going to write something different than handwritten. I try to write it like the chart, you know. I try, but that's important to pay attention to the different meaning. We'll let that step there for a second, so people can understand it and get an understanding of what they're looking at. Coming down up there. People get understanding, right?
Right.
Okay, let's see. Let's write down a couple more of them, then we'll move on to something else here. As a matter of fact, I'll let me see here. Oh, here. Oh yeah, you guys understand that, right? Okay, so let's write down what we saying. Okay, let's people, you guys understand that. Let's write down those similarities, man. That just kind of get. Somebody got something there?
Officer Mashah said, head of the slaves, Shalom Yahweh Shem Yahweh Barakatah.
Yeah. You gotta go to slave?
Right. Come.
Okay. Yahweh Shem Yahweh Barakatah. Appreciate that, officer. Appreciate that. Black love for the officer. Appreciate that, man. Appreciate you supporting the class. But these are the different ones. So we'll let them stay up there for the troopers. I appreciate the officers checking in class, man, helping us out from time to time.
Right.
Helping out his fellow officer. Appreciate that. All right. Go ahead and erase those, and we'll get into something else real quick here before. But you got the idea, right? And the more you do these, the more they become easier, right?
Right. This is just a point of actually, you gotta take your time to study.
You gotta study it. And when you do them all the time, like I do them all the time, 24/7, all day long. And so I know, it's like doing anything else, you become proficient at it.
Right.
Okay? Let's see what we got here. Let's do, here, let's do some simple stuff here. So make sure people who haven't done this in a while, let's make sure people who understands this, what this is. All right, you remember those?
Okay.
Write them down. Write them down for Hebrew.
Write them down in the English.
Write them down in English. Write them down in English first. And we're writing down the number system here. Watch the spelling now. On top. Right? Here, you got it?
Okay.
Raining pretty good over here. Yeah, now see my instructor would never tell you that. He just say, catch your error, and then you catch it. You know?
Right.
Go ahead, just take your time. It's been a while since we've done the Hebrew number system, but you guys, from the officers, Matah and Nayar and Lakamawan and Kalantazah, you guys remember this. So that's good. Take your time. You will come out the sky. Big time, you know. Right. There you go. All right, go ahead and do your 6, 7, 8, 7, 8, 9, 10, right? Write those out. Since you're up there, go ahead and do those. Why not? We're writing out the number system in Hebrew. We're doing it. We'll write it out, and let's see. We'll do it in Assyrian tonight. How about that? For all the Assyrian lovers. Shah, Shama, Shama. Write that down. Wa. No, not Yah. Not Shemayim. That's heaven. Shama Wa. Shama Wa Na. It's an H on there, I think. Shama Wa Na. Got me messed up here.
You're right.
Am I right?
Okay.
Let me check. Let me make sure. I don't know. Sometimes I get it. Shama Wa Na. Yeah, that's right. All right. Explain what you got.
Okay, Shanya,
Right.
Shalash, Arabah, Kamash, Shashan, Shabbat, Shamawana, Dashah, Asherah.
Asherah. Let's clap it up for the trooper right there. Exactly right. Right. Now go ahead in Assyrian, right above each word, write the Assyrian for it. Just all this exercise is going to do is help you to understand them over and over again. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, write it in Assyrian. And when you read the Tanakh, you know, because I see these, a lot of these in the Tanakh too. And it helps you practice. There you go. Don't forget that little stem. There you go. Write your Shanya. Okay. Know what that is. Take your time. Always make them look like somebody's got to read them. Because it's exactly why, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Exactly. People have to read those. And if you make a mistake on them, then they're gonna be saying, just like, everybody makes mistakes. That's why we're perfecting them every day. Yeah, that's right, but it's small, right? Make them all the same size, remember? Okay, I can buy that. And point the top stem to the sky a little bit. That keeps it from looking like a car. Yeah, just point it. And because it'll look just like a car if you're not careful. Yeah, that's better. You look at it, see, go over and take a look at it. What do you see over there? Now, see it? See how it's pointing to the sky?
Right.
Now, I ain't look at the chart, I just remember it. I know why I don't want it like that, because it'll look just like a car. I mean, a knot. I mean, a cob, sorry. What is that?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, there you go. Excuse me. What's that now? What's that? A law? Nah, I don't buy that. I don't buy that. Y'all make that L correct. Now let me show you how I used to make it. Let me see. I used to make it, I start off right here, like that, down, right? And let me make that, I forgot how to do that. Like that. So like a 3, a wheelchair ramp, but it's gotta look sort of like that. And practice it, do it again, do it right. Take your time and break that down, break it down, that's what you have to do, start at the top. Yeah, make it, see that little shelf, you're forgetting that long shelf right there. Just break it down. Look at, yeah. There you go. There you go. I can buy that right there. That looks like an Assyrian L, because you want to make it look like. And sometimes they look like this. Sometimes it looks like this. You like they got right here, like, right. Sometimes it look like that. See how the chart looks? Sometimes it looks like that. Somebody else truck. Let me see what they got over there. See if I can chat. We'll check it out here. Yeah, there you go. I can buy that. You just have to practice that L and practice anything you deficient on. Just practice it. Get to know the difference. About it, like a little hangman, right? Right. Okay. So I used to pick up the acronyms of what these things look like, so you could. There you go. Oh yeah, that's the rain. Right over Simpson. Of course, like I say, we're making sure we understand how to read this in Assyrian. These are the number systems. And of course, I don't do this all the time as far as writing down that. We let people practice on this, but it's now your time to practice, right? Right. So what you got, Qadash? Okay, good. All right, go above that and do that one. Yeah. Doing a great job. Shah, right? Now you got to be careful right there with that I. That I comes halfway down in the middle and then start that system right there. In other words, look at that board over there. Look what it says for. I mean, I know. What's that I? Yeah, it says that. Yeah, I don't. Yeah. Kind of make the bottom a little bit more flatter and sort of, just for the sake of, because it's starting to look like something else. Yeah, like that. That makes sense?
Okay.
Yeah, because it can easily get started to look like a tazah.
Right.
It can. And we don't want that. Because none of us makes it absolutely perfect, but you know. Right? Okay. Okay. We're still working on the Assyrian for the number system right there, right? You got Shama. What's that? Wa.
Wow.
And be careful with that wa now. That thing. Yeah, there you go. That wa. Yeah, that wa can get carried away. See, it can only be construed as one thing when you do it like that. Now, except for that, look kind of like an N, so do that again. You know what I'm saying? It could like a na. What's a na? If you look at that na right there, almost look like it. So go back there and put that Y a little bit more character. In other words, yeah, there you go. Like this. Let me show you. Like on the board right here, like this. But you want to start off with most things start off with a straight line, right? And you want to go like that. And then when you want to draw a knob, it's like that. Like that. If you look at it. And a knot doesn't really look like that. It really looks like, a knot really looks like this. Sort of like that, okay? But the difference between the wa, it would be looking like straight line again, a little stem. Believe it or not, there's a difference in that when you look at them, okay?
Okay.
And you gotta be real careful or they will start to look alike. Now that na was so, yeah. And the reason why I don't make the na look like this, I exaggerate it so you can tell that there's a difference.
See how the top it kind of got a slant.
Got a little slant to it, right? Right? So you go a little slant and then it's like that. That's a knob. The other one, the wa, doesn't have any slant to it. Okay? So you got to make a difference. purposely being picky because that's what you want.
You got Matayala checking in from Greenville, South Carolina.
Tayala, that's
Right.
all right. That's good for that brother. All right, what you got? So you got it, right?
Right.
You understand? So that's 10. We wrote what, 1 through 10? And we wrote this Syrian, right?
Kind of okay.
And that's so you can see, you get practice of writing that, people can see that. And of course, it's written down on the, who else, Matayala?
Matayala.
Yeah, trooper, good. And you get used to doing this. Akkad is course 1, you know. Shanya is 2, Shalash, Arabai, Kamash, Shasha, Shabai, Shama Wana, the Shah, and Asherah. Of course, we went over a few of those plurals on there to show you how those are written. And of course, we had the trooper write them out in the
Syrian.
huh?
The Syrian.
Assyrian, right. We had the troopers write them out in Assyrian. And that's important. Yeah. We'll have it written out in Assyrian so that you can get a good idea of when you're looking at words and how things are spelled, of course. But these are the base system 1 through 10. Of course, to make something plural, we simply add a yam on the end. We say akkad, but akkad is by itself. You have to add more than one. As one is by itself, it's singular, so it don't have to be. But 2, we say shanayam. We say shalashyam, arabai. Okay? Of course, if we want to say 11, how would you say 11? Trooper.
Akai Asherah.
Mm-hmm. That's the trooper. This one and on 10, right? Then you want to say Kamash, Kamashyam, Shashayam, Shabayam, Shamawanayam, Vashayam, Asherayam. That means 20. And of course you go on further, man. You want to say 20. It's I'm sorry, we already said. What am I saying? If we say Shanayim, we said 20. Shalashim is 30, right?
Right.
And right. Arabayim is 40, Kamashim is 50. And of course Asherayam is how do you get to your 20? It's just pluralizing. And you want to say 100. How would you say? You remember 100?
Ma'ah.
Ma'ah? Go ahead and write that down. Let's write it down over here so you can see it. Ma'ah. Right? Ma'ah. And what does that represent? 100?
Right.
Yeah, right, 100. There you go. And that's so if I said ma'ayam, what would that be?
Huh? Ma'am.
If Aishuriyam is 20, right? That's yeah. That's like doubling 10, right? But if I doubled 100, what is that?
200.
So how would you say that?
Ma'am.
Write it down. Very good. Clap it up for two, but Ma'ayam. Because remember, to pluralize something is what?
Times.
You want to say yam, right?
Right.
Or times 2, right? Exactly. Okay? So 300 would be what? Think about it now. Remember, you got ma'ah there. Remember, okay? Remember that. Remember what you got in front of you. Well, so how do you say shalash? Well, no, okay.
Okay, I guess.
Okay, all right. Shanya ma'ayim. Ma'ayim, you don't have to, let's see. What am I doing here? When you say ma'ayim, yeah. Now, 3, shalash ma'ayim, right? Shalash is 3, right? So you say 3 plus the plural of 100. So shalash ma'ayim. Okay? Now some people go and try to put shanya ma'ayim as 200, but it's understood that ma'ayim is twice 100. So when you write, there you go. Shalash, that's 3, right? Okay, and then you want to say ma'ayim. Ma'ayim is the plural of 100. So that's actually 300 is what you're saying. Okay? That makes sense. And sometimes people go there and put shanya ma'ayim 200. But it's understood. If you send ma'ayim, then you know it's 2 times that.
Right.
Okay? But now you've established it. So you're in the ma'ayams now, like the hundreds, or the 10s, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. That's what we've done. We say yam over there. Now we're saying ma'ayim. Okay, that's 200, 300, right?
Okay.
So 400 will be what without writing it? What will 400 be? Arabah ma'ayim. Right, and so on and so forth, right? Kamash ma'ayim, shasha ma'ayim, that's 600. But you gotta get right, the shamawana ma'ayim, the shah ma'ayim, right?
Right.
You don't want to say, you can say asharab ma'ayim, but there's another word that would be for that, and what is that word? How you say 1,000. If I said asharab ma'ayim, that's like saying, that's like saying 10, Ashuraya, that's like saying 10 100 times. So what is 10 100 times? 1,000, right? Am I right? Yeah, 10. So that would be, you could say Ashuraya Mayayam, right? But what's a better way of saying that? In Hebrew, there's a word for 1,000. It's called Allah. A-H, write that down. A-H, L-A-P, Allah. That means 1,000. Okay? Aliyah, Allah. Okay? And if I want to say 2,000, how would you say that? Really, some people would say Shanya Alapyam, but I would just say Alapyam. That means twice 100, twice 1,000. And then so you just say Alapyam. That makes sense? And you can say Shanya Alapyam, but it's understood that it's really, you're really saying you don't need it. It's just like, what do you call that, when something's not needed, like that. Yeah, I mean, well, it's, anyway, I'll think of this over here. Alapyam. But some people would say Shanya Alapyam. You know, like you don't need to say it. It's understood.
So you say 3,000 would be shalash alapyam?
You got it. Write that word up there, Shalashalakia. Just for the sake of writing it, right? It's having fun, ain't you? Because you're counting all the way up to 3,000, man. You see where this is going? You can count up to 1,000,000 with this, can't you? Shalash alakyam. So you're saying 3 and 1,000. So that's 3,000. 3 with 1,000 written in this like that. It's like when we say 3,000, THOUSAND in the English, the slave system is 1,000. So we put a 3 in there. That's the same thing as Shalash alakyam.
Right.
But if we say 2,000, you just say alakyam.
Right.
You got any comments?
Lie.
Okay. Well, they're writing notes, I hope. Okay. So we understand?
Kind of.
All right. Any questions on that?
Lie.
You got it? So you understand it, right?
Kind of.
So if I were to tell you to write all right. Well, and for the sake of rolling back the tape, I'm letting that sit up there for a second. I'm letting it sit up here for a second so people can understand what you've got. We went from the tens, of course, to the hundreds, of course, to the thousands, right?
Right.
And of course, like I said, we can write Shanyalakin, but it's understood. It's sort of understood because you know you have to double that, and that's a Lapian. Okay.
Right.
All right. So let's see what else we got here. That's understood. So if let's erase all that, and then we'll do 1 or 2 more, and then that'll be the end of our understanding for this tonight, and we'll get on something next week here. Next week, I think I'm gonna start writing some sentences. Get people involved in writing sentences. Okay.
Okay.
We'll make it simple as possible, and then we'll get people into, because we have a lot of troopers, so we can't really take things too much in advance. We have to kind of go a little slower, right? Because if I went advanced, I'd have to study it myself, not to mention that the troopers will be ahead of something. They'll be in a territory that they don't need to be. That makes sense?
Right.
So let's just keep it right there. Okay? All right, I want you to break this down for me. I want you to do this. Write that down on the board, that number. Think about it.
English.
Well, just write it. Yeah, write down in the English. Just take your time, break it down. What do you see up there? Well, write it. I mean, you can write it in. Nah, I don't write down English. Just write it down in Hebrew first. There we go. Yeah, write down what you know. That's a good way to do it. That's a good way to do it right there. That's just kind of like the last one. It's going to take a while here. Well, here's a way to look at it. How you write 70 done. How you write 70. Remember? What did you just say? Well, write that down somewhere up there. Shabayam. Write it underneath it. That way there you go. Shabayam. Shabayam. Now, how do you write down? There you go. Okay. And the Shai would actually go before Shabayam, right?
Right.
Okay. I apologize to you. It's a lot. If you're gonna write it backwards, when you're saying the Shah, you write a 9 plus a 7, 70. Okay, yeah. That's the way to write 79. Okay, because it's sort of you're writing 9 plus 70. Okay. Now put all that together. Actually, that's the answer up on the board, right?
Mayam, Shabayam.
Yeah. No, you want to say the Shai
The Shah.
Shabayim. That's 79. My Ayam.
Oh, so basically you said it backwards.
Bad backwards.
The Shah Shabayam.
Mayam.
Mayam.
Well, you write 79, just like you would write in our system, right?
Mm-hmm.
279, right?
Mm-hmm.
279. So we write right to left, so you write 100 last. 200 last. Mayam. The large number always go last. Shabayim is, that's the 70 that you see. You don't see a 70, you see a 70.
So Shabayam, Ma'ayam.
Right. Shabayim, Mayim, right. That makes sense? Okay, so clap it up for that.
Exactly. All right, let's do one more. We got room for another one here before you go here.
That's good. Don't let it throw you off. It can make you.
It can throw you off at first, right? All right, let's write this one.
Write that. And the way to do it is to write it down in stages, then put it together. Okay? Write it down in stages, and then put it together. You know, write it down. What do you see up there? What is that? 1,000 what?
1003.
Okay, then write down what you see in Hebrew, and then put it all together. That's the way you really want to do it. All right, break that down. What did you just say there?
A lot, 1,000. Shalach 3.
So 1,000 is a lot,
Right.
right?
Right.
Okay. Am I right?
Okay.
And so you're saying, but you're adding a 3 to it. So you're saying 3 plus 1,000. That's all you're saying. So shalash Allah.
Right.
Very simple.
Okay.
What if I did this to you? What would that be in Hebrew? You gotta do is add a plural, because that's, am I right?
Okay.
So you're saying alapia means 2,000, because it's like, and you know, some people will put shanya, shalash shanya alapia. You can say that, but to say alapia means twice 1,000, which is yum.
Right.
So it's like saying 20. You know, Ashariyam. Same thing. Right?
Okay.
So how much more time we got? See,
Man, I'm just getting fun with it. That's what we want here. Okay? Fine. Alright. There you go. Like, what number is this, man? That's where we started off, didn't we?
Okay.
So we ending up with what number is this? Right?
Okay.
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 Good. What is that? Read that in English first.
2022, all right. Then write that on the board. Take your time, think of it, look at it real good, and write down what you know. That's what you want to do. Put your A after that. Shanya there. Okay, Shanya, all right. Now what does that say right there?
22.
22, right, because that's 2 plus a 20, right?
Right.
All right, what's next? Right. Now read what you got.
2022.
Yeah, and read that.
Sanya, Sanyayam, Alapia.
Don't have brother right there. It can be a challenge unless you just break it down in what? Stages.
Right.
Step by step. In other words, you got two, this is the year 2022, right?
Right.
Shanya, right?
Right.
And Shanya is 2. But to write 20, you need Shanayam.
Right.
So you add 2 together, that's 22. But I need 22 plus 2,000.
Right.
And that's alap is 1,000. Well, I want to make that plural. And some people would say Shanya alapim.
Right.
So some people would say Shanya, Shanayam, Shanya alapim.
Right.
But you can say Shanya, Shanayam, right? And then alapim is understood because 1,000 is 1,000 is a lot.
Okay.
And to make a lot plural, yam, that's the next level. Is the next level like asheriyam is 20.
Right.
That's the same thing what you're doing here. A lot yam when you say 2,000.
Okay.
That makes sense.
Okay.
You can do it either way. From my perspective, I can be corrected. I am a lot of time. But that just makes sense. If you can do asheriyam and you can do then you can do shalak. Any questions? Any questions, Drew? Any questions to what you got? To what you've written so far on the board, so you know you can count up to what? Anything with 1,000. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
1,000 plus.
You can write up to 1,000 then, right?
Kinda,
You can write up to 999,999, can't you?
Kinda.
Almost a million. I gotta get one of the generals to find out what a million is.
Right.
But I'm pretty sure I ain't got that much money to count up to either anyway. That makes sense? But we know we've counted to the year 2022, and that's Shanya, Shanayam, Alapyam, or Shanya, Shanayam, Shanya, Alapyam.
Right.
Either way. Now, if I was gonna write that in 32, that would be
Shalash.
Shalash, Shana,
No, you said 32.
32.
Shanya, Shalash Yam.
Yeah, Shanya is still 2. And Shalashyam, right?
Alapia.
Say it again.
If it was 2032.
Yeah, still be a Lapyam,
Right.
right?
Okay.
Oh, wait a minute. Nope, nope.
2032.
Right.
That'd be, yeah, Alapia.
What's 3?
Oh, 3,000.
So that'll be,
Shalash, Alapia.
yeah, Akkad, Shanya, Shalash.
Yeah,
Shalak. Okay, so it'd be Shanya. What's 3 again?
Shalash.
Shalash, Alapyam. Okay, because you gotta use that as Alapyam as the base of 1,000 plural.
Okay.
Plural. In this case, we just 2. So when you're on that 2, it's kind of understood that the next level is a 2,000. You don't have to do that. And if I said 4, and so on and so forth, or Akash and Yash, Shalash, Arabah, it'd be Arabah. So we say, so if I said 2042, how would you say that?
Sanya, Arabah, Yum.
Arabah Yum, it'd be 440, right?
Okay.
And then it'd be
Alap.
Alapium? No. Still Alapium, yeah, because we're using the 2, right? Or Shanya Alapium, either way. Yeah, you're right, okay? And so on and so forth.
Okay.
So just break it, don't ever scary, just break it down into these plus signs, just like you got up there, and we're adding it.
Okay.
We're adding each one of those on, so we kind of know, right?
Okay.
All right, let's we can leave it up there for right now. Let's read some announcements here, and then we'll end class. Let's clap it up for class, troop. Fantastic class, man. Did well. All the officers involved, all the troopers involved. I appreciate that. It's like it to the men above me. And we appreciate you participating in class, man, where we learn how to count in Hebrew, man. Right? We learned some things up in Hebrew here tonight. We learn how to count. We learn how we've got an understanding up here of what count the number, right? We learned this, man. So that's how it works out. So we're gonna read some security announcements. We are the ISUPK, start off 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rule for the new brother, sister: when a new brother or sister comes into school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves over the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to the brother and sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6 month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Ties, which is a commandment, Numbers 18 and 21, right? Malachi 3, 8 and 10 means 10th in Hebrew, Ma'asharah. 10% of every penny of increase the Lord gives you. Give to the Treasury Department or teacher, priest fund. Free will offering for the priest, not mandatory, whatsoever amount you would like. The upholding convocations that we have next, of course, coming up here real soon. As we're preparing for this, man, it'll be the memorial blowing of trumpets, right?
Right.
Sunday, the 25th, September 22, Leviticus 23 and 24, 25. Join us here at the ISUPK in South Carolina, all right? Let's see. Remind Akim and Akwaf to check the bulletin board in the hallway. If anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, to start wearing all black boots, shirt, pants, headband, and scarf. We're going to give one salute to our brothers, and then we're going to give a salute to our sisters, right?
Okay.
Ahmad Shabbat, Ahmad Barak, Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shai Barakatah. We're going to give courtesy salute to our sisters, Ahmad Shabbat, Majid, Barak, Yahweh Shemar Alatah Bahashem Yahweh Shai. For that we say, Shalom.